Hello, hello, hello. How is everyone doing? Oh my, oh me, oh my. It's spooky season, and I hope you're all having a wonderful pre Halloween. So today is going to be a pretty chill stream. We're going to talk about some horror films, as usual, as per usual. And hey, how goes it? How are you, my friend? How are you, Rebecca? Good to see you here. So, yeah, today's stream's gonna be pretty chill, pretty laid back. Gonna be going through some horror recommends, as well as a really cool announcement. And I want to make sure that we have a few more people here before we get into that because it's it's pretty exciting. I'm really excited about it. You're working on your web page. Nice, nice. Yeah, you'll have to share that around once you get that up and going. I would love to check it out. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna start sharing out this link really quickly, just so that we get a few more people in here. So give me a couple of seconds, probably about not a couple of seconds. I'm a little stoned right now. Give me about a minute. Send out some links, and then we're gonna get started with those horror recommends. Be right back. All right, my dudes, got out the link. Let's get in to these recommends. And please do let me know if the music is too loud at any point. I can always turn it down. But with that said, let's get into I have 13 here, so there's gonna be 3 honorable mentions, and then 10, my top 10 basically. And this would be like my stack for Halloween. I don't know if I'm gonna watch all of these, but I have watched a couple of them before Halloween. These are kind of like my normal rotation. So as far as honorable mentions, the first one is, if you've never seen it, Pieces. This is an awesome movie. It's so much fun. It's super gory. It's really far out there and just comedic as all hell. I can't recommend Pieces enough. So this is one of my honorable mentions. Another one that's a really underrated slasher that is a ton of fun as well. And it's one that I don't see brought up very often, and that's Cherry Falls, with the late great Brittany Murphy. Why am I spacing on her name. This is a really fun slasher, and it basically turns the slasher on its head and says, "Hey, if you're a virgin in this town, the killer's gonna get you." So everyone wants to have sex so that they don't die. And my third honorable mention is Demons. If you've never seen Demons, such a fun flick and so perfect with a group of friends on Halloween. Silent Tom said recently watched Pieces, one of the best what the fuck endings ever. Right? Isn't it just so crazy? Plus, I always laugh whenever she yells, "Bastard!" It's fucking hilarious. Hey, we got Burton here. What is up, my dude? I'm going through my top 10. And once we go through my top 10 recommends, again, my honorable mentions were Demons, Cherry Falls, and Pieces. So these are these are definitely movies that I watch regularly, but this is definitely one. These are definitely like not my top movies for Halloween. So, as far as my top 10, a new movie, and none of these are gonna be, there's one that has like 2 movies in their franchise, kinda. So these are like one-off movies that don't really have franchises. They might have a couple of films here and there. So number 10 came out last year, Haunt. I love this movie. This is one of my favorites from 2019. Fantastic slasher. And I feel like this is everything that Hellfest tried to be. It's super low budget, got some really good kills and some damn good gore effects. And it's definitely like edge of your seat. And the characters, I really enjoyed the characters in this film, especially the main character, Harper. So, highly recommend checking out Haunt. And then at number 9 would be, and all of these are films that I love, but number 9 is What We Do in the Shadows, the film, not the TV show. I haven't seen the TV show yet, but this movie is fucking hilarious. It's about these vampires who live in this flat together, and they get into all these crazy hijinks, and it's fucking hilarious. And it's like one that would be like a fun double feature with Young Frankenstein. But yeah, What We Do in the Shadows is like my number 9 pick. Number 8, The Collection. And really, The Collector is also dope too. But for me, The Collection is the more fun film, the one that's really good to watch with a group of friends. High kill count, good gore and effects. Plus, like our main character, he is someone that you can get behind. Arkin, he's like a cool dude. Like, yeah, he's gotten into some shit, but you can sympathize with him. I have not seen What We Do in the Shadows, but I want to. I highly recommend it. I crack up every single time I watch that movie. It's so fucking funny. It's hilarious, and it's directed by Taika Waititi. The Collection was great. Yeah, The Collection and The Collector are great. And then I'm really looking forward to the third film, Collected. Hey, what's up, 80s horror fan? Welcome, man. Good to see you here, dude. So that was number 8. Number 7 is Deathgasm. This movie fucking rocks. It's basically heavy metal Evil Dead with an Aussie twist. I have so much fun with this film. This is one that I discovered maybe 2 years ago, I think. Just kind of rented it out of the blue. It's pretty incredible how hilarious, how much fun, how gory, and how likable the characters are in this film. I cannot recommend Deathgasm enough. Silent Tom said The Collection has a top-tier horror ending, so satisfying. It is, and I'm curious to see what they do with the third film, The Collected. Very excited to see that. Next, and a lot of these films that I'm talking about are kind of like films that I think are overlooked most of the time. I'm not picking any films that are really from any major franchises, so keep that in mind as I'm going through this list. But the next one is Chopping Mall. I love this movie too. What a fun film. I'm sure that if you've recently heard about it, probably from Joe Bob Briggs, but this movie is just a blast. A bunch of kids are in this mall overnight, are looking to get laid, and while they're in there overnight, these bots, these new mall bots, start going crazy because of like this lightning storm, and starts to kill the kids off one by one. Kelly Maroney is in it, who I love. Kelly Maroney, she's awesome in this, and even better in Night of the Comet. Barbara Crampton's in this, so there's like some horror scream queens in this movie. Such a fun film. Definitely watch this. All of these movies are mostly like party films that you can watch with friends and have a really fucking good time with. And hopefully these are some of the some movies you haven't seen yet. Burton says, the cover of Deathgasm reminds me of Todd and the Book of Pure Evil. I haven't seen that. And I haven't really heard of that. That sounds interesting. Huh. You have to send me a link later to that. I'm interested to check that out. The next movie on my list, and I think if you're a horror fan, you know this film, but I know like it was a movie that was kind of not seen a ton when it first came out, but Cabin in the Woods. This film is endlessly entertaining. A friend of mine, we recently watched this together. She'd never seen it before, probably a few weeks back, and she'd never seen it, didn't really know much about it, and she loved it. This is one that I don't even know how many times I've rewatched this film, but it's endlessly fun, endlessly entertaining, really great cast, and they're all likable. And great kills, gore, effects, just a plain old fun film that I've shown at parties when I could host movie parties at my place, and this is one of the movies that I'd always throw on, and we always had a fucking blast. Can't recommend Cabin in the Woods enough. And now we're getting into our top 4. These might surprise some of you, and maybe not. But again, no major franchises in any of these. So you're not going to see like Halloween, Friday the 13th, anything like that. So number 4 is a film that I feel like doesn't get enough love, and it's a film that has grown on me over time. Oh, Brandon. What's up, Brandon? Brandon says, hey, Desmond, missed your last stream. Such a shame. Can't stick around, but I wanted to pop in and say hello. What is up, my man? Good to see you, dude. Oh, man. Always good to see you, Brandon. But Dead Silence. This is a movie I saw in theaters. It was one that not a lot of people pay attention to, and it's gotten a lot of shit. But this is like early James Wan and Lee Winnell, right after the success of Saw. And this predates Insidious and The Conjuring. And you can see the direction that James Wan was going with his future films. And it's such a throwback to like, 90s era horror films. It's a fucking blast. Can't recommend Dead Silence enough. It's like old school horror, and it's a lot of fun. One that's not to be taken seriously, but still one that's like always endlessly entertaining. Burton says Todd and the Book of Pure Evil was a Canadian TV show. It's great. You would dig it. It's on Shudder. Ooh. Nice. I'll have to check that out. I do have Shudder. Brandon says, right back at you. And Rebecca Review says, last time I tried watching Dead Silence, I just couldn't get into it. It's definitely very cheesy, but I feel like that's the charm to it. But again, it might not be for you, but that's okay. I'm sure there's a few movies in here that you could dig. Like this next one, Elvira, Mistress of the Dark. I adore this film. I used to watch this movie over and over and over again as a kid. My brother and I could not stop watching this film because of how hilarious it was. Plus, it has horror in it, and I love horror hosts. So it's kind of like a no-brainer, right, Cleo? So yeah. Elvira, Mistress of the Dark is awesome. Definitely like a good one to watch. Thanks, Cleo. She has her butt in my face. Don't eat my Sour Patch Kids. Jeez, no kitty, that's my Sour Patch Kid. Anyways, Elvira, Mistress of the Dark, is just like, it's very nostalgic for me. There's just something so fun and whimsical about it. And of course, Cassandra Peterson as, is that her last name? I'm totally messing up her last name. Please correct me. But, yeah, love this film. It's so much fun. And the Arrow release is beautiful, gorgeous, fucking legendary. Definitely give this one a watch. And then my final two, and Burton says Dead Silence is a solid pick, right? It's like perfect for Halloween. It has that Halloween spirit with it. Next up is one that is just a fucking blast, and Linnea Quigley's in it, and I love Linnea Quigley, and that's Night of the Demons. This is just, this is pure awesome 80s amazingness, and it's full of great practical effects, great cast, tons of fun, and it's just like what Video Creep said on my review on Nightmare on Elm Street. It's a nostalgia treat. So I'm gonna take your catchphrase for a minute, Video Creep. It's a nostalgia treat. Definitely, if you've never seen Night of the Demons, you gotta check it out. And again, this Scream Factory edition is fucking legit. And last, but certainly not least, is Trick or Treat. I had to put this on here. This is, a classic for me. This is one that I have to watch every Halloween, and I feel like it's required viewing of a horror fan. And if you're into horror films, and if you want to celebrate Halloween on, the right fucking note, and end it on the right note especially, Trick or Treat is the movie to watch. And that's my list, Again, no big movie. Some of them are big, but they're more, no franchise films. Thank you, Burton. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. Otherwise, that was my top 10. This is gonna be a lot of the films that I'll be watching on Halloween. I'll see how much I can get my friend to get to watch with me. I've already said, hey, how much of a marathon can you do? How many can you watch? Let me know. But the next thing, Burton says, oh my god, I got Trick or Treat when it first came out on DVD, had no idea what it was about and loved it. Isn't that like the best way to go into a movie? Is fucking not knowing a lick of anything about the film, going in and being like, oh wow, this is special. This is special. Rebecca says, okay, I have to watch 5 of the 10. All right, you're gonna have to let us know which 5 of the 10 that you've seen, and then report back what you thought of them. So, the big channel news I wanted to bring up to you guys, and I'm playing aggressive cyberpunk, and I feel like that's a little too much right now. We don't want to be aggressive. I want to be, having fun, talking about horror movies, all that good stuff. Solid list. Okay, one I'd add as an essential for me is Creepshow. That's from Silent Tom, and I fucking agree, man. I totally agree. That Creepshow is so good, and I love Creepshow 2. I don't mind Creepshow 2 at all. Hey, what is up, D-Pad Generation? How are you doing? Welcome to the stream, the stream-a-bob, the streaming thing. Looking for a new little, I don't want to do aggressive cyberpunk, but I want some like good spooky music. Some music. By the way, if anyone is interested in the music that I'm listening to, it's by White Bat Audio. I'm actually going to link it in the chat for you guys and anyone interested. But It's also in my description. I've been using their music. It's all copyright free as long as you give them credit in your videos. So you'll be finding his link in my description of all the Friday the 13th reviews. His music is so cool, and again, it's all copyright free. Let's do this one. Yeah. Okay. So this one's kind of alien themed. So I'm very excited about this. Dude, if we are naming great movies to add, go Night of the Creeps and Fright Night. Oh, dude. That is a fucking double feature. That is a double feature that I would love to see. That I might have to do a double feature of that. That might be a good one to do on, I'm going to go ahead and plug it, for Friday Night Frights. If you haven't seen Friday Night Frights, it's Patreon only. Me and my buddy Adam talk about horror movies. We watch them live on Patreon, and you can basically watch along with us as we act like total fools. Rebecca can attest to this. She saw it, and we watched My Bloody Valentine, and yeah, it got a little spicy. So the little chest, little man chest, whether you want it or not, it was there, and you're welcome. But in terms of the announcement, okay, I'm going to get real for a second. The announcement is, so I've had this channel for 2.5 years. And this channel means a lot to me. This community means a lot to me. And the community I've built here with you guys for the last 2.5 years is incredible. So I want to start off by saying that I love you guys. Thank you so much. You guys keep watching my videos, and it means the world to me. And a big thank you to Bloodbath and Beyond. They gave me a little shout out at the end of their video where they were talking about some YouTubers check out on, horror tubers on the platform. And they mentioned me at the end along with some other awesome people that are a part of the Coffin Grounds group. And, I'm a little bit past 1,500 subscribers. So I went up like 100 subscribers in a day, which is amazing. And I want to thank my patrons. Like, you guys fucking rock. There's been times where that Patreon money has, really helped me out in a pinch. So I really appreciate you guys. Because I lost my job right before the pandemic happened. So I've been pouring my heart and soul into this for the last 2.5 years, but these last 6 months or so since I lost my job and I got to 1,000 subs, I was like, I gotta make this happen. I really gotta put all into Desmond's Flicks and make this happen. So what's the announcement? Well, earlier this week, I passed the threshold to be able to get my channel monetized. I was approved for monetization, and now my videos can start to earn revenue. It's probably not going to be like a ton of revenue, but I'm already seeing like a tiny bit starting to show up in my analytics, which is like pretty cool. Again, it's like 54 cents. Cause it's only been like a couple of days since I've been monetized. But yeah, this is something that I have been working towards for a long time. Thank you, D-Pad Generation. I appreciate that, man. And Burton says, I saw the Bloodbath and Beyond, and I almost screamed when I saw you mention the video. Oh, thanks, man. Oh, yeah. I mean, watching that video was cool. Like, seeing a lot of our buddies in there from Coffin Grounds. I'm like Thrill House of Horror and Sweet and Spooky. Yeah. Thank you, Rebecca. Thank you, Silent Tom. And you might notice now you can send me super chats. Not that I'm trying to tell you to send me money, but that's one of the things now with getting monetized is you can do super chats and like stickers and stuff. I don't really know how it works, but yeah. Apparently that's a thing. So if you're not able to do Patreon and you want to support the channel, beyond what you're doing now, which is amazing. Liking, subscribing, and watching the videos, awesome. But if you want to do more, feel free to try out Super Chat. I think it's going to show, if it does happen, it's going to be right above me. What's up, Brandon? Welcome back, man. I just gave the announcement that my channel's monetized. I haven't told anyone. Burton says, we love you. I'm so happy for you. Oh, man. Thank you so much. I love you guys. This is an awesome community. Brandon says, fuck work. I'll do it later. Uh-oh. We got him on a school night. We got Brandon on a school night. Oh, shit. Even the Funko Pops are like, this is getting too crazy. This is getting too crazy up in here. I'm taking a nosedive. But yeah, it's something that I'm very proud of. I'm very happy about. Yeah. It's nice to know that it's happening. So if you do see ads popping up here and there on my videos, that's the reason why. So yeah. Rebecca says, dude, seriously, your channel rocks and you totally deserve this. Thank you, Rebecca. I appreciate it. I appreciate that so much. Brandon says, nice, man. Make that green and buy the green, if you know what I mean. Oh, I know what you mean. Okay. If we're going to talk about some green. All right, let's put the music back on. If we're going to talk about some green here. So I think most of you know that I partake in the devil's lettuce, as the kids would call it. The snoochies and the boochies. Both snoochies and boochies. But I've recently discovered, I vape now because I live in a condo where you gotta be careful with the smoke. And I've discovered live resin. It's amazing. It's amazing. Knee pain, out. I use it for my knee pain. Use it for being able to go to sleep at night if I smoke enough of it. And honestly, I do it when I'm recording my reviews. It's fun. It's a good time. I'm not gonna lie, I was scared you had bad news, but this is awesome. I know I didn't want to I'm sorry if it sounded dramatic. It was because I genuinely feel this way. I genuinely am I'm definitely not going to be quitting. It would have to be something catastrophic for me to stop doing this. Which, even after my dad passed away, it was if anything, it made me want to succeed at this more, because my dad was really digging it when I started. So it makes me want to make it even better. Get in the weed. I will. I'm gonna get all up in it. But yeah, dudes. Otherwise, we were just gonna chill out, shoot the shit. Okay, we were talking about double features. All right, and Burton, you brought up one. It was shit. What was it again, Burton? It was Fright Night and fuck. What was it? So Burton says, okay, Jay from Jay and Silent Bob is in Todd and the Book of Pure Evil. Just saying, not trying to get you to check it out or anything. Do you want me to watch Todd and the Book of Pure Evil? Officer George says, talk about the ultimate form of motivation. Hey man, yeah, my dad, huge movie fan, and he's one of the reasons why I'm into the movies that I'm into. And before he passed, I started this channel, and he was like, oh, that's really cool. I'm liking what you're doing. Keep doing it. So yeah. It's one of those things that just kind of keeps me motivated. Plus it's the awesome community, like I was saying earlier. You guys fucking rock. And I love making these videos and hanging out with you guys when we do live streams. When we do it over on Patreon too. I'll have to figure it out to where the live chat works on Patreon. So I'm still figuring out all the little ins and outs, but definitely gonna be like making that more robust as Adam and I start doing more of those Friday Night Frights. Okay, so Brendan says, double feature Scream and Urban Legend. Ooh, yeah. I like that one a lot. You know, Urban Legend is like one of my favorites from the Scream ripoffs. Even though it's like, it's not a ripoff. They're all slashers. They just have like the whole teen angle with it. But yeah, that is a fun double feature. And I mean, Scream is just legendary. A legendary film. Okay, so Burton said it was Fright Night and Night of the Creeps. Yes, yes. Badass. Oh my gosh! It's my mom! Thanks! Aww. My mom did the very first super chat. Aw, thank you. Aw. Look at the little fox. That's so cute. Oh, and it showed up top. Hey. That's so cute. Yeah, you'll see my mom's name in the opening credits, and then my grandma, who's also a big supporter, you'll see her in the opening credits too. Her name. So always wonderful that, you know, friends, family, and you know, the amazing community and friends I've made on Facebook and on YouTube and Instagram. All you guys, it's pretty incredible. Like, we talk about, you did it. That was so cute, and that was so cool seeing it pop up top. Yeah, my mom and my grandma are awesome. And so is my uncle. They've been huge supporters of mine. Nothing like awesome family and friends that, you know, have your back. And, you know, and that's why it's like I love doing YouTube, because like some of you message me and say like how much fun it is to watch my videos and just like takes your mind off of stuff. That's exactly what I want to do. I want to like make videos where you guys can have a good time, maybe discover some films you haven't seen. Yeah, so awesome. Rebecca said Friday Night Frights was a blast. Yes, it was so much fun. It was so much fun to record with Adam. Adam's one of my bestest buddies. He is actually part of a podcast called the Double Edge Double Bill podcast. I've been a guest on it a few times with Tomas Marinera. Yeah, definitely check them out. Double Edge Double Bill podcast. Thank you, Burton. I appreciate that, man. You know, it's my pops was awesome. And he's the reason why I love movies as much as I do. I have to correct myself. I always call my pops my dad. Is actually my grandpa, but because he raised me with my grandma, I call him my dad. But it's actually my grandpa. So yeah, my pops was huge in my development for films. And my mom, who donated a little bit ago, she's the one that got me into horror films. She's the reason why I got into horror films at a young age. Like, I remember one of my fondest memories of watching horror movies was when my mom and I were watching Hellraiser Bloodlines on VHS on this tiny little TV. And I remember very vividly, like the two dudes, the twins, getting their faces connected together, and it becomes like all twirled up. Bloodlines is underrated. It's a dope ass movie. Burton says, "What are your plans for Halloween?" So my very best friend Angie is gonna come over, and she loves all things spooky, mostly like true crime stuff. So the stack that I was showing is the stack I'm going to show her and be like, okay, here are my recommends. What is your choosing, milady? So that's kind of how it's gonna go. We're just gonna watch horror movies, eat candy and popcorn, and just chill the fuck out like you're supposed to on Halloween. What about you guys? What are all of you doing on Halloween? What are your plans for Halloween? I know that it's like a bit weird this year, just with like the current state of things. But still, you still gotta celebrate. If you're a self-respecting horror fan, you have to. And I'm gonna go ahead and eat a Sour Patch Kid here. Oh, that was a lemon one. Oh my god, that's very sour. Whew. Oh shit. That was not a good idea to eat on stream. I'm so sorry. Burton says, sorry. I have one of the little arms of the Sour Patch Kid stuck in my teeth. It sounded very fucked up, but that's pretty usual. Burton says, I've been watching horror movies since I was like 4. I couldn't get enough. Evil Dead and the original It used to be the big ones for me. Oh man. The original It film, that gave me so many nightmares. So fucking scary. Like Tim Curry, like especially when he was like coming out of the shower, like in the drainage pipe in the shower, and he just comes through. That freaked me out because I was afraid he was gonna come out of the shower and get me. I had a lot of fear of like using the bathroom and taking showers because of that and Candyman. Like I was so frightened that Candyman was gonna come and get me through my shower. Holy fucking shit. Brandon says, so D-Man. Oh, am I D-Man now? Okay. I wanted to make a proposal during the stream. Would you be interested in being my first interview for my Reddit? Oh. Let's talk offline about it. Yeah. Let's talk about it. Me find out what it's about. And, yeah. Hit me up on, like, Instagram, Messenger, or Facebook Messenger, or, like, Twitter. We can talk about it. Like tonight or tomorrow. Rebecca says, absolutely nothing planned for Halloween. I literally took down the majority of my decorations today, but I will stay up late with my daughter and watch horror movies. Good, that's a good horror mom. Yeah, you gotta watch horror movies with the kids. You gotta let us know what the lineup is. What's the lineup with your kid? Burton says, I might take my kids out. Here in SD, the pandemic has not hit as hard as some places. Dude, that's good, man. It's crazy out there, right, man? It's freaking wild. Yeah, it's wild out there, man. But, that's why I'm so glad that, we have the online communities that we do. Like, again, Coffin Grounds, Coffin Grounds especially. I go in the other horror groups on Facebook, but Coffin Grounds is like the one that I'm in the most, or that I just like scroll through the most, because everyone is super chill and nice. There's no douchey people in there. Because there's some of those groups where you're like, "Ew, like, stop. Brandon says, I'd be happy to. I'll DM you on Insta if that's good with you. Absolutely, man. Shoot me a message on Instagram. I'll either try to get back to you tonight or tomorrow when I wake up around 1. I get up so freaking late because I'm usually editing way into the night. I gave a little sneak peek to my patrons what my next review is gonna be, which I'm planning to release tomorrow. I'll be working on it late tonight, but I have a very special guest joining me for that review. It's a very special Halloween centered review. And I'm really, really excited about it. So look for that sometime tomorrow. But yeah, very excited about that. Rebecca says they're starting with Terrifier. She loves Art. Art the Clown is dope. David Howard Thornton, coolest motherfucker. Then her favorite, which I'm buying for you since you can't find it streaming. 100 Feet and ending with Amityville Horror. I couldn't find it anywhere. I literally, as soon as you sent me the link for it or the name, looked it up online. It's not streaming anywhere, which sucks. Rebecca's referring to these two movies because over on my Patreon, for at the producer and executive producer level, you can request movies for me to review, specifically like within the horror genre, and it could even be like horror adjacent. But for like those two tiers, you get 2 movie reviews a year to request. And I do like, the usual like, and with some of these movies, they're older, so I can do like deeper dives into them. Since it won't be like so spoilery, since most people have seen them. But yeah, I'm looking forward to checking out the movies that you sent me, Rebecca. She says for a 9-year-old, she has great horror taste. I can see why. You have good taste in horror films, Rebecca. Learn from the best. Scott, my boy Scott, yo, what's up, man? Guys, I posted on my Facebook earlier about Gamma Base Comics. They're God, I was back in the day, like 4 years ago, that I was buying comics from you guys. Gamma Base Auctions, awesome, like dudes that sell comics on Facebook. You guys were doing a giveaway earlier. Did that already happen, or is that still going on? And for those that just joined this stream, the big announcement that I made earlier, the big channel news, was Desmond's Flicks is now monetized. So that means you'll be seeing ads on videos. I've monetized pretty much everything that can be monetized unless it's been copyright claimed. Otherwise, you'll see ads on videos. So that's like the only real change. And then there's also, it's below or to the left, I think, is below in Super Chat. You can do Super Chats, which is basically like sending me a tip. So yeah, there's that. We went through my top 10 list. You can rewatch this later if you want to see some of the films that I recommended. I can also leave the list in my what's it called? In my description. If you guys want it there, I can put it there too. So you guys can see what films I my top 10 along with my 3 honorable mentions. Burton says, have you seen The Cleansing Hour on Shudder? It's great. I have not. Is that a movie or show? I have not heard of this. Interesting. I've been on the fence on whether or not I want to watch The new Craft film, Craft Legacy. Ugh. I don't know about that, man. I love that original film so much. And I watched Chris Stuckman's review on it. Because I have very similar tastes to Chris Stuckman. So it's like, I'll usually watch his. I'm like, I'll have an idea of whether or not I'm going to like it or not. And he like passed on that movie so hard. Which is a shame. New movie, if you see the trailer, you will be down. Okay. What is it? Okay. What did you say? Cleansing hour? Let's see this shiznit. Cleansing hour. Not cleaning hour. I just put in cleaning hour. Yeah, exactly. You have to. Just to say you did. So I'm gonna be cleansing hour, right? Trailer. Okay. Let's open this up. So, you know what we'll do? We should be able to do this pretty easily. Perfect. Oh, wait. Pause that. So let's see what this is about. So this is something that Burton was recommending that I check out called The Cleansing Hour. It's on Shudder. So let's watch the trailer and see what this is about. Oh, okay. Was that the dude that was from the remake of Nightmare on Elm Street? Ooh, ow. Oh shit. Oh, so it was all fake and now she's actually possessed. Ooh. I like it. Yo. Okay. Okay. I see what you're putting down. Okay, cleansing hour. That looked pretty dope. Not gonna lie. Okay, I've never seen that. The Haunting in Connecticut. I haven't seen any of those haunting movies. Haunting, like the Haunting of Marley Hartley, right? I almost said The Haunting of Marley and Me. The dog comes back from the dead. It's this wonderful story of, like, you know, these two people adopting a puppy, grows old and dies at some point, and then comes back to life for vengeance. Yeah, so anyways, The Haunting of Molly Hartley is great. Is it great? I don't tell you. If you want me to watch them, become an executive producer or producer of my show. No, but seriously, that's one way to get me to watch it. Because then it's like you make me watch it. You're like, okay, you're gonna fucking watch this shit. The Haunting of Marley and Me. I would check that out, right? Comes back to life. Be like some new spin on Pet Cemetery. I'd be down for that. I'd be totally down for that. That's a great idea. Dude, I'm already there. You should just Molly Hartley just because. my calendar was already getting full. I've already like planned out November and December videos. I done did it already. I planned out the last 2 months. I don't know why I'm talking like this, but I did. But the next 2 months are actually gonna be pretty freaking dope. There's some good stuff coming up. Finally able to do some more Patreon stuff. So I got a lot of Patreon. Got like three Patreon requests next month and 3 in December, which I'm really looking forward to because some of these I've never seen or I haven't seen them in a very long time. And I'm finishing up the Friday the 13th franchise in November. Because I had to take a little break when I was doing the 31 Days of Halloween. Oh my God. Burton. Okay, I have to read this now. So, we're still going with this whole, the Haunting of Marley and Me, where, here's what Burton says. Zombie dog eating people trailer, blood everywhere, and then a quick zoom to Owen Wilson's face. Wow. Oh, wow. It's hard. It's like, it's more nasally. Oh, wow. God, what's her? There's this fucking actress on SNL who does an amazing impression of Owen Wilson. It's like, it's so pitch perfect and on the nose. I love it. But yeah, November is gonna be finishing up the Friday the 13th franchise. There's like 3 Patreon requests. And then I'm going to get around to finally checking out Possessor. Because, you know, Candyman got canceled this year, which that was my most anticipated film of the year. My second most anticipated film of the year is Possessor by Brandon Cronenberg. I'm so pumped for that movie. Comes out November 3rd, so I'm all over that. So I'm planning on doing a review on that when it comes out. And then December, some more Patreon requests. And then there's going to be like 4 videos that are all Christmas horror. So very excited about that. It's going to be fun. But yeah. That was kind of it, you guys. I didn't really have anything else to talk about, really. This was kind of like, what the fuck? They canceled Candyman? Yeah, dude. It got pushed out until next year. I don't know when next year. By the way, okay, this is actually something I want to talk about. So, they just released like another, and I haven't actually watched it. This might be a good time to watch it, actually. But the new Halloween teaser trailer, what I want to know is why is everyone freaking out over it? Because it's like, whenever you get Halloween news, it's like, oh my gosh, they showed a picture of him walking down the street. Whoa! And it's like, is it really that big of news? Sweet, yeah. Shoot me the link. Shoot me the link, Rebecca, for sure. Okay, Halloween Kills. Because I have not seen this teaser, so this might actually be a good time to watch the teaser too. Like, I'm seeing these videos where it's like people are breaking down the burnt mask, and it's like, is it really that groundbreaking? I don't know. I'm not a hater of Halloween. It's just one of those things that is just like, oh wow, oh wow, as Owen Wilson would say, oh wow. I do like it's like it did more Robert De Niro. Oh wow. What's up, Ben Grimm? What's up? We're about to watch the new teaser of Halloween Kills that everyone's freaking out about. Let's change it to that. All right, let's check this baby out.
Next Halloween, when the sun sets and someone is alone. He kills.
I'll get to it in a minute. I mean, okay. I was laughing because Jamie Lee has some serious stank face. She's like, what was that? You said what? I'm sorry. I'm stoned and she's just giving mad shade. This motherfucker. This motherfucker looking at. Like, that's what she looks like right now. She's looking like this motherfucker over here. I see you. I'm sorry, but that's like... That's what it looks like to me. I don't really get the hype.
Next Halloween, when the sun sets and someone is alone.
Okay. Walking on leaves, cool. Mask. Some blood. Jamie Lee giving some stank face. Blood everywhere. Her screaming Michael for like the millionth time. I don't know. It just seems kind of silly to me, personally. So like, you hyped it up all year. Okay, you're not going to release it because, you want to make sure that you get as many sales as possible. Ticket sales. All that good stuff. I get it. But it's just, I don't know. I feel like the hype that some people kind of like, oh my god, it's another teaser, I'm gonna lose my shit. I just don't get it. I just don't get it. But that's just me. I'm not hyped about, what, a 30-second trailer? Which, yeah, Ben Grimm just says, so this whole movie is already made. It was supposed to come out already. Why can't they release a full trailer? Why these 30-second teasers still? That's kind of like, that's how I feel. It's like, I know they're still trying to keep the momentum up because they're not going to release it, or they're not releasing it this year, obviously. But I don't know. It kind of, them canceling it kind of killed the hype for me. And it's not like I was insanely hyped for this film. I wasn't. It's not that I didn't like Halloween 2018. I think it's a lot of fun. I enjoy that film. And I enjoy the Halloween franchise to a degree. I feel like it's, like, if I were to pick between the three major franchises, that would probably be my second favorite out of the big three. Because I'd rank them as Friday the 13th, Halloween, and the Nightmare on Elm Street. Just because I feel like Friday the 13th has more consistency in their films, in the tone. It all feels more cohesive in a way. And I personally find them to be more fun. I like the whole camp aesthetic, but that's me personally. I know there are mega fans of Halloween, and I dig it. I'm just not hyped for Halloween Kills. I would have been into it if it had released this year. And you know, part of it is like due to you know current circumstances, which sucks. But at the same time, it's like I don't know. I feel like they could have recouped those losses through streaming sales if they'd done. And I feel like you know the hardcore fans would go out and support it, but that's just me. Burton says, I kind of feel you. Like, you could take clips from other Halloween movies and made this trailer. Right, exactly. It's like, okay, we see, like, him hit someone or slash someone, and we see blood going everywhere. And, you know, I just personally find it funny when I see, like, trailer breakdowns for, like, a 30-second trailer of a film that's not even coming out for, like, another year. Just personally. That's me. Ben says, I think there are some bad... I feel like there are more bad Halloween than good ones. I'm kind of there with you. Like, I love the first one. I'm kind of mixed on 2. This might be controversial. Actually, I wonder if I can get into my letterbox, because I think I have them all ranked already. But, like, I don't love Halloween 2 because of the fact that they make Jason, you know, Laurie's brother. I don't like that. It ruins the mystique, you know? It ruins the mystique of what makes Michael so scary. I mean, yeah, it still makes him scary that they're related, but I like the idea that he's just this rando that saw her drop off the key at the Myers house, and he just goes, her. I'm gonna go after her. That, to me, is so much scarier and so much more disconcerting than the convoluted plot of, well, now they're related. Ha ha. But I still like them. I still have fun with them. But in terms of how I'd rank them, so this is my letterboxed here. Let's see. Zoom in a little bit. So, as you can see, mine is a bit different than probably a lot of Halloween fans. But I'm also not like a massive Halloween fan. I'm a Friday the 13th guy. But of course, number 1 is Halloween. I had to rank Halloween 3 as number 2 because I really dig that story. And I love Tom Atkins. Tom Atkins is the man. Tom Thrill Me Atkins. Love that dude. And I think Halloween 3 Season of the Witch is such a fucking fun film. Then number 3 is Halloween 2018. I know. Crazy, right? I dig that film. I like the fact that it's that continuation from the first film to this film where, you know, there's no relation between Laurie and Michael. I like that so much more. Then Halloween 4. I feel like Halloween 4 is one that's overlooked a lot, and I prefer that much more over Halloween 2, which I rank lower than Halloween 4, because I feel like Halloween 4 nails the Halloween vibe, you know, the Halloween spirit, especially like that opening credit scene. Wow, perfect. Halloween 2 is a good follow-up to Halloween, but I feel like it's hard to follow up the first Halloween. decent kills. Terrible wig on Miss Jamie Lee Curtis. But she still gives in a good performance, as she usually does. But I don't love that film like others do. But I do like, the Myers with the bleeding eyes. I think that's pretty dope. So, this may be controversial, but Halloween 2 makes it, it's not at the bottom of my list. It's at number 6. I like Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. I actually prefer it a lot more over his first Halloween. Because I feel like in the first Halloween, there was too much of like the white trash element. They're constantly screaming at each other and yelling. And I feel like it works for other Rob Zombie films, but for Halloween, it feels so mismatched. And so I feel like he toned it down a ton in Halloween 2, which, I preferred a lot more. And let me know, guys, if you're having issues with the stream, if it's showing up. Oops, I probably shouldn't be showing that. Hold on, guys. 1 second. All right, looks like we're fine. Had some weirdness there with the stream. It was saying that that there's some buffering going on. So let me know, guys, if you can in the chat, if there's anything going on your end of the stream, if it's having issues playing for you dudes. Looks like everything's okay. But there's some buffering. Yeah, we're fine. Oh, YouTube. Oh, YouTube, you silly. You silly. Okay. So let's get back to the Halloween franchise ranking that I was doing. So yeah, number 1, Halloween. Number 2, Halloween 3. Number 3 is Halloween 2018. No buffering? Thank you. All right. Number 4 is Halloween 4. Number 5 is Halloween 2. 6 is Halloween 2. Rob Zombie's version. Then we left off at Halloween by Rob Zombie at number 7 here. Yeah. So that was my main problem with Rob Zombie's Halloween, is like too much screaming at each other, lots of yelling. And I am not against cursing. I curse a shitload. It was just like every other word was like, fuck, shit, you whore. And it's just like, I get it in like, the Firefly films. I totally get it. Like if I'm watching House 1000 Corpses or, Devil's Rejects or 3 from Hell or shit, even like 31, I expect that I'm going to get that, that I'm going to get those kind of characters. But in Halloween, it just doesn't fit. And I know it's his vision, but it really irked me. But it didn't irk me as much as Halloween H2O. Burton says, I did not like Halloween 3. Let me know why you don't like it. I'm always curious why folks don't like Halloween 3, which I totally get. I totally get the dislikes for the film. But I'm always curious to hear what specifically is something that you don't like about it. If you don't mind. Hey, Gory Bits! My boy Gory Bits. I'm sure most of you are already subscribed to him, but if you aren't, go subscribe to Gory Bits. He's a chill dude. He's awesome. He's been a major supporter of Desmond's flicks. Yeah, and Gory Bits, I announced earlier that the channel was monetized as of a couple of days ago. So we did it. Made it happen, man. H3 Season of the Witch is one of my favorites. So that's interesting because Burton doesn't like Halloween 3. So it's always interesting to hear the different opinions of Halloween 3. I would love to hear your guys' thoughts on those those films, just to see your different perspective. It's always fun. But Halloween H2O is low on my list because it's the most like, oh, Ben says, I'm watching the Night of the Demons series 3 and the remake. Oh, whoa, there's that many of them? I didn't know there were so many of them. I thought there were only like the first 2 and like the remake. Gory Bits says, thank you, my friend, and congrats to you. That's awesome. Thank you, man. It's your first watch of Night of the Demons series. Interesting. You have to let us know how it is, Ben. Shauna says, I think it was disappointing because it wasn't what we expected going into theaters. Exactly. That's exactly what happened with me when I saw it. I was like, huh, that doesn't. And it's exactly how I feel about what Burton says. Just doesn't fit in the Halloween franchise. He's saying that for 3. That's how I feel about Rob Zombie's Halloween. At least the first one. The second one I like a lot more. Rebecca says, can I just say I don't remember Halloween 3? I mean, it's definitely like, it's different. But I give it a watch sometime. It's perfect around Halloween, and either you like it or you won't. I like it because it is really like kooky and out there, and I just love Tom Atkins. So there's that. Burton, I got to Burton's comment already. Okay, so with H2O, that one to me is the most that is like so copied from Scream. Like, I just feel like Halloween shouldn't be copying another film or another film franchise. It needs to stand on its own, and H2O just felt like a Scream knockoff, the way that it was done, even down to the music. The mask, I hate the mask in H2O. I'm not a fan of who they cast as Jason, not personally, just I don't like the fact that he's small. He's not intimidating. He runs like he's basically Ghostface, but without running. There's something about it that just feels like they basically had Scream have it in, this campus where everyone lives. Get Jamie Lee Curtis to get back in there and hype up the film before it came out, like she's been doing with the new Halloween films, saying this is the best one yet. And yeah, it's just, the mask sucks. The music sucks. The boyfriend that Jamie Lee Curtis is with is bleh. That guy is so cringy. Josh Hartnett's hair is a travesty. So Burton says, I wish I was, Rebecca. Rebecca says, when it comes to Rob Zombies, I really loved the first, but not so much the second. Yeah, I totally get it. Like, I know people who hate the second Halloween by Rob Zombie, which I understand. That one took time for me to grow on me, but I really like that one a lot. Especially the fact that we get so much more Danielle Harris as Annie, and we get that character built out, and we have that amazing moment between her, spoiler alert for Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. Beep, beep, spoiler. when she dies and Brad Dourif is in the bathroom with her, like cradling her as she's dead, like that got me. Like that was a fucking good scene. I like H2O a lot. I like it even more than the 2018 film. H2O has like a dozen different masks. It always bugged me how Michael Myers' muscles grew with each sequel, but part 6 he was huge. Dude. Yes. Which I'm gonna get into part 6 now, because H2O, I'm just kind of mad about it. Just kind of mad. Rebecca says it was almost too brutal, if that's even a thing in a horror. You know, there was that scene in the first Halloween where Michael is beating the bully, and it's been a minute since I watched, probably like a couple years or so, but maybe a year. But doesn't he beat him with like a big ass tree branch? I felt bad for the kid, and I kind of felt like it went on a little too long. There's a few of those scenes where it goes on too long. Just not. I wasn't feeling that. Shauna says Adam Arkin when he's chomping on grapes or something while making out with Jamie Lee. I know. Or like when she tells him about like how she had to like change her name and her brother tried to kill him, and he's like, "Oh, well that sucks. Wanna make out?" It's like, oh, gross. You're a weirdo. You sure you're not the killer? Gory Bit says, yeah, zombies movies are pretty disturbing, especially the director's cut of part 1 where they reinserted the rape scene. I know, which is like, was that necessary? Really? Someone made an incredible fan edit of Halloween and Halloween 2, and he edited it in a way that makes the two films connected more. He still kept the scenes that needed to be there and the kills that needed to be there, but anything that went a little too over the top, where it's like, this doesn't feel like Halloween, this feels, just not like it fits within the canon. This YouTuber like edited it in a way that it feels more streamlined, and it feels like it fits more within the Halloween franchise as a whole. But yeah, Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers. I really want to like this movie. I really do, because I see so many fans of the Halloween franchise that love this film, and I get it. I can see why. And I've watched both the theatrical and the producer's cut. And personally, I find the producer's cut to be worse because of the whole like runes thing, and there's this weird disconnect in that film. Genome Presents, what's up, man? It's been a minute. How you been, man? Rebecca says, I guess I didn't see the director's cut. I know nothing about this rape scene. It doesn't add anything to the story. It's just like shock value for shock value. With Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers, Paul Rudd to me is cringy in this film. And I love Paul Rudd. I think Paul Rudd, usually I find him to be very charming and charismatic. And I know this was his first movie, but it was just it was cringy watching him in this film. I do like Michael Myers in this movie. He is thick. He's super thick. And correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't George P. Wilbur Michael Myers in Halloween 4 and The Curse of Michael Myers? Because if so, he's one of my favorite Michael Myers. I really like the Myers in both of those films. And I do like the mask in The Curse of Michael Myers. But I hate the soundtrack. That 90s guitar riff that pops in from time to time. It's just, I hate that. I don't like the editing for the most part. It has that shitty late 90s editing, where it feels like a music video at certain points. And if it's done right, like a David Fincher, he started out in music videos, it can work. Although he did direct Alien 3, and that's not really his fault. But, anyways, Curse of Michael Myers, it doesn't work for me. And I don't really feel like there's, like, the kills are decent, but they're not my favorites in the franchise, so, I believe so, yes, it was, George P. Wilbur. Okay, cool. That's what Gorybit says. Burton says, I thought it was cool that in the first, but it wasn't, fall, so they just cut up a lot of the brown paper and put it on the ground as leaves. I love that little tidbit. That is such a cool little tidbit about that original film, to make it look like fall. Like, if you ever want to see how you can make an indie film and do it on, a relatively small budget, like Halloween is like a prime example of how to do that. Guerrilla filmmaking, pretty much. Brandon says, honestly, this ranking is almost identical to mine. I'd switch 2 and 3 as well as 4 in 2018. Otherwise, this is perfect. I mean, this is... And I haven't even gotten to the last 2, which I feel like from most horror fans and fans of the franchise would agree they're the lesser of the films. Gory Bit says, have you watched the producer's cut of 6? Yeah, it doesn't make it any better for me. It adds nothing for me. I don't really like it. I actually prefer the theatrical cut better. But it's also a film that unless I'm going to watch all the films in a marathon, I don't just pick out to watch. So there's that. And then second to last, but not the last one, is Halloween Resurrection. I hated this when I saw it in theaters, and I've come around to it a little bit more, but I still don't like it. It's still a pretty badly made film, and it's not scary. The mask is kind of cool, though. I do like the mask in this film. Of course, we have Busta Rhymes yelling out, "Trick or treat, motherfucker!" Like, that's pretty hilarious. But otherwise, it's like, it's okay. The kills are okay, but it's not one that, like with the Curse of Michael Myers, it's not one that I go out of my way to watch. Gory Bit says, Busta Rhymes entertains the hell out of me. He is fun. He is fun in the movie. There are certain points where it's like, and it's not his fault he was given this script and they want him to be Busta Rhymes. Like, act like Busta Rhymes. So, he did that. But it's just like, it's not one that I will go out of my way to watch. The kills are pretty good, and I do like I forget which character it is. I think it's the blonde who gets her head cut off, and like we get to see the first person perspective because she has the camera attached to her head. Like, I thought that was cool. There were some really interesting kills, and it was still early in us using the interwebs and live streaming, so interesting concept. Yes, the H8 mask is terrific. I think it's really, really cool. It's a really cool looking mask. And it's scary too. It's like an intimidating looking mask. Brandon says, I honestly might switch 6 and 7 as well. 6 has that stupid, terrible charm to it. 7 has good JLC acting and writing, but it's really boring and bland. Yeah, I mean, they're kind of close for me. Especially like these last 3 films, like they're ones that, well, actually these last 2, the very last one, Halloween 5, is the one that I detest. I hate Halloween 5 with a passion. Genome Present says, slight Halloween tie-in from something that I missed earlier. Just saw Tom Atkins sans mustache in an episode of The Fall Guy. Ah, interesting. I have not seen that. That's a show, right? Burton says, I wonder if there is a Halloween-themed porn. I once saw the cover for a Beetlejuice adult film called Beetlechism. The cover said, say his name 3 times and he comes. So stupid. I just like that tagline. Oh no. Oh no. But yeah, Halloween 5, fuck that movie. They actually add clown noises to the cops when they're walking. Who does that? And then, nothing against the actress. Again, this is like, I never really fault actors because most of the time it's them getting a certain direction from the director, or it's written in the script, whatever it is. So I can't fault the actress, but the character of Tina, oh my fucking god. Wow. What an annoying character. And, you know, they had to kill off Rachel. They killed off Rachel from part 4. It's like, what the fuck? And then you make Danielle Harris, the star of the last film and the star of Halloween 5, a mute. And all she really says at one point is, Cookie Woman. Bruh. What the hell? Brandon says H2O has 0 personality to it. It's so boring, it actually just reused Scream's score. Exactly. That's my problem with it. The characters have no depth and lack the charm of even 5 and 8. Okay, I'm gonna get off my soapbox about 5 in a second, but I feel like there is no charm to part 5. I hate that film with a fiery passion. Never want to watch it again if I don't have to. And why am I talking like Barack Obama? Burton says, I knew you would like that info. It's fucking hilarious. Oh, God. I mean, I'm sure that there are some pretty interesting horror takes on adult films. Rebecca Review says, learn something new in every live stream. I know. You're welcome. See what happens. You learn useless information you never needed to know. Hats off to you, sir. Half a hat off. While we're doing a franchise ranking, I do want to talk about, I don't want to do Friday the 13th yet, but I do want to talk about A Nightmare on Elm Street. Which, I recently finished up that franchise like a few weeks ago. And yeah, this is basically my ranking of how I'd rank them, and we'll talk about them. If you watch my videos, you probably have a good idea of how I was going to rank these. But number 1 for me, personally, is the first Nightmare on Elm Street by Wes Craven. It's one of my favorite films of all time. I absolutely adore this film. It's one of those movies I can throw on anytime and enjoy every single time. It's just a badass movie. Brandon says, oh no, Nightmare 4 got done dirty. I know. I kind of went off on that movie. I kind of went off on it in my review, I know. Right on, Gino. Right on, man. Dope. I'll check it out sometime. For sure. I'll check it out at some point. But yeah, A Nightmare on Elm Street. I mean, I just think that it's a slasher classic, and it helped to, kind of move the needle forward for, horror films and slashers, and doing more of like the fantasy style horror, which I really dig. Especially once we get into Nightmare on Elm Street 3. Oh no. Burton says, I am not gonna lie, I love A Nightmare on Elm Street, but a lot of the movies got really cheesy. Part 3 was garbage in my opinion. Interesting. That's interesting. So that's always interesting to hear other people's takes on this franchise. Because some people don't like the fantasy or comedic and cheesy stuff. Others love it. I'm kind of like in the middle. Oh God, excuse me. Rebecca says, you broke my heart with this ranking, Desmond. I'm sorry. Genome says, 4 is popcorn, but such a fun flick and looks amazing. It has its moments, for sure. Brandon says, by the way, I had switched 7 and 4, and we're good. Oh, 7 and 4, and we're good. All right. Interesting. But yeah, so Nightmare on Elm Street is number 1. Number 2 for me is Dream Warriors. I love that movie. I watched that a ton as a kid. My brother and I used to watch it over and over and over again. And it holds a very special place in my heart. It's very nostalgic. I love that Nancy comes back and she's basically teaching the new kids like how to be able to take down Freddy, how to be able to use your powers against him. I love it. Rebecca says, no, you're not. You hate one of my faves. Oh no, I'm sorry. Genome says the only 2 entries that I thought were complete garbage were 2 and 5. I can laugh off Freddy's Dead as a semi-entertaining romp. God, I wish I could do that. With Freddy's Dead, but I can't. For me, number 3 is New Nightmare. I mentioned it in my reviews for these movies that I think of 1, 3, and New Nightmare as like the unofficial Nancy trilogy. And I love that New Nightmare is basically the precursor to Scream, another film that Wes Craven would go on to direct. So I like the fact that we're already seeing him start to go into that territory of getting into the meta side of horror, and, really making commentary on it and kind of like putting the lid on Freddy and being like, Freddy's done. We're done. Brandon says, 7 really missed the mark for me, to be honest. I do enjoy it, but it's not a fun movie. It's more drama than horror. I'll give you that. Almost said bones, and bones me to death. Hey! And bores me to death if I'm being pissy. I'm sorry, just hearing you say, this is making me real pissy. Oh, I was pissy today. I got pissy today, but not anymore. I got into a much better mood as soon as I started streaming because I knew I would talk to you guys. Burton says, I saw Freddy vs. Jason in the theater. I enjoyed it a lot. I agree. That was a fun theater experience. The hype was real going into that movie. But yeah, love New Nightmare. It's the one that I usually watch after I watch Dream Warriors. Ben Grimm says, I agree with these rankings. Hey! And Rebecca says, what's with all the Freddy's Dead hate? I mean, do you want me to list them? I can list them all. But if you like it, you like it. I just don't like it. Genome Present says, New Nightmare was gold until they got to the hospital. Didn't care for the last act at all. Interesting. Okay. See, this is what I like about talking about all these. We get like all these different perspectives on these movies. It's always so much fun to hear everyone else's perspective on them. Scott says, what's up, man? Thanks for stopping by. Hey. Rebecca Review says, no. No, no, no. Yes, yes, yes. So at number 4 is Freddy's Revenge. This is one that used to freak me the fuck out as a kid, especially when he transforms, which I love that the practical effects in that scene where he's transforming and you see like Freddy's sweater coming through under his skin, and when Jesse opens his mouth, you can see the eye coming out from the back of his mouth, and then like cutting his stomach open, and Jason, what the fuck? I've been doing too many Friday the 13th reviews. Freddy comes out of his stomach. I love that. It's so fucking dope. But the one thing that I didn't like about that scene was Grady's kill, because there was such a build up to something epic happening, and I felt like it was kind of a letdown. I was wanting something so much gorier, but it was still good. It had a good build up to it. Best part of Freddy's Revenge was the hellhounds. I always laugh because of like the little doll faces they put on the dogs, because all I can imagine is like this dog with it on its head going like, what the fuck? Get this thing off of me. Freddy's Revenge was a solid movie. All but the dance scene. Oh, come on. No, sir. That's the best part. No. Okay, come on. No. That music is great. You are wrong. Dance. Because Mark Patton's dance moves are a sight to behold. They are beautiful and they are legendary. And just because you said that, just for saying that, this is what you get. You made me do this to you. We're gonna watch Jesse's amazing dance moves. Yeah. Look at this. Look at this guy. He's like, all right, undies. Put that in the undie drawer. Fuck that shit. That's right. You tell him, girl. Put those sunglasses on. Look at that. The music's so good. I wish I had those sunglasses. You're wrong. You are wrong, sir. Wrong. You're welcome. You're welcome. Yeah. You need me to reenact the scene? Maybe I will. I'm trying to catch up. What did I miss? I can envision Desmond doing this scene. You know, I might have to do it sometime. Might have to do it. Might be a lot of fun. Maybe I will. Maybe once we hit 2,000 subscribers, I'll make a little video. Do my own version. You hear that, guys? 2,000 subscribers, and I'll make a video where I dance as Jesse from Nightmare on Elm Street, Freddy's Revenge. I reenact it. Figure out a way to do it here, but we'll do it. 2,000 subs. You can hold me to it. Show you my slick dance moves. Okay, so let's get back to business. It'll take a while to get those wicked dance moves down. Oh, they're so wicked. They're so rad, so wicked. But I got enough time. I can do it. I'm totally recruiting everyone I know. Hey, I need you to go ahead and subscribe to this guy. I want to see him close a drawer with his butt. For the lulz. Countdown to 2K. Uh-oh. What have I done? Okay, so Freddy's Revenge. Awesome fucking movie. Yeah. Freddy vs. Jason. That is at number 5 for me. It's lower on my ranking for Friday the 13th because I don't like how Jason is portrayed in Freddy vs. Jason. It doesn't feel like Jason, and it's nothing against Ken Kersinger. Nothing against him at all. I do wish it was Kane Hodder though, because I feel like Kane could have done the character justice in such a massive film like that. Burton just says, and I envision this in like the Liam Neeson voice, which I feel like I'm gonna need to pull up Liam Neeson Taken. So I want to give you guys a visual representation. This is Burton right now, okay? He's not very happy about my my slick dance moves. So, you know, I think that, let's open up this image. Boop. Boop. Burton, my friend, you sound like Liam Neeson. Let's get this image here. This is my impression of Burton as he tells me that I should never have said what I said about Freddy's Revenge, and warning me about showing off those slick dance moves in a 2K special. So, acting. This is my interpretation of Burton. I don't know how. I don't know when. But I will get you back. Was that pretty good? I think that works. But that's Burton. He's going to get me back for those dance moves. And I welcome it. You bring it. Bring it on. Bring it on. Let's do this. I'm ready. So, Freddy vs. Jason. This movie was a blast to see in the theaters. I had so much fun. It's a spectacle. It has great action. I hope you do get that 2K sub dance down. I'm gonna do it, man. I'm telling you, dude. It's like I have to do it. If I can get my outfit to be kind of close to his too, that would be amazing. Cause I find it so charming. Mark Patton is adorable. Like, he's so cute in that movie. He's cute now. And I love how adorable he is dancing in that room, closing everything with his booty, and it's just cute. It's fun. It's goofy fun. And it's really gay. It's really, really gay. And I love how gay that movie is. Okay? It's the gayest movie ever made, gayest horror movie ever made. And I love that. It's amazing. So Freddy versus Jason. Fucking fun, man. Great action, great gore. And, you know, as to be expected by Ronnie Yu. I feel like it's a good Nightmare on Elm Street film, but I don't think it's a good Friday the 13th film. Because Jason, it doesn't seem like Jason. It basically just seems like Frankenstein. There's nothing interesting about Jason. They don't make him interesting in this film. And then he's like afraid of water. And that immediately, like, when I saw this in theaters, it was fine. But as I've seen this film over and over again, especially watched it more with that box set, it's bothered me more and more. I just don't like that aspect. But otherwise, it's a fun film that I feel like fits in with the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise, but not so much with Friday the 13th. So it's good for one franchise, not so good for another. I know this next one is going to be pretty controversial because I know a lot of people love this film. But at number 6 is The Dream Master. I loved this when I was a kid. And I still have a bit of nostalgia for it. But I feel like I feel like this is the point where I started to kind of check out of the series because it becomes too goofy for me personally. I feel like the kills for the most part aren't that great. And that's one of the things that I've always liked about the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise for the most part is really interesting dream sequences with creative kills. And I feel like in the Dream Master, there are some that are standouts, like the Roach Motel. That one is a standout. Fantastic kill and practical effects in that piece. As well as the ending where Freddy gets killed at the end, and everyone, all the souls are like ripping their way out of his body. I love that. That's a really cool practical effect. And even Linnea Quigley's in there. Like, we see her back there for a second. That's cool that she's, one of the souls trying to come out of his body. I really dug that. I like Lisa Wilcox. I think that she's a, really, really good main character in Final Girl. But I do feel like it's like two different films in one, where it was like they were trying to close the chapter on Dream Warriors, and as a result, Joey, Kincaid, and to an extent, Kristen got, the shaft, basically, short shrift. And I thought that was kind of lame, because Kincaid was a dope character in part 3. And I liked Joey too. You had a little bit of a character arc for him, but all of a sudden he doesn't have any dream powers anymore. And then Kristen, it's like I get that they couldn't get Patricia Arquette back, but then I feel like if you couldn't get her back, then don't bring back the character Kristen. Make Tuesday Night's character a completely different character. Because I liked her. I liked Tuesday Night in this movie. And I feel like, they killed her off too soon. And I feel like some of the makeup effects were kind of bad. And the kills are not that memorable to me. This is the point in the franchise where it really becomes like full-on MTV horror, which worked well for Jason Lives, I felt, but didn't really work very well for Dream Master, in my opinion. But of course, and with all the films that Robert Englund is in, he's great. He's great as Freddy in every single entry. And then, getting near to the bottom 3, Dream Child. there are things that I like about Dream Child. Yeah, Ben says Kincaid is awesome. He's a cool character, and you know, he should have had more screen time, in my opinion. I like that character. But Dream Child, I feel like that was another film where, just like with Dream Master, there was a lot of potential to do something really interesting with it, and I feel like they kind of got there, especially with like the gothic set design. I like that. Like, that was pretty cool. But I felt like it got too jokey. It got too goofy and funny. And when not even funny, I didn't like it. I didn't think it was funny. I didn't like it when I was a kid either, when I saw it in theaters. But, you know, Freddy is basically a parody of himself. I don't like the kid that is like Alice's kid. I'm not a big fan of the makeup. The pacing isn't great. The kills aren't very great because they're pretty neutered. Although I do like the kill of that one dude on the bike, where he gets fused with the bike. But unfortunately, like, a lot of those kills were like cut back because of the MPAA. And then also Greta's kill when she's like fed to death. That was cool, but again, cut down because of MPAA. The comic book one with Super Freddy was interesting, but again, neutered because of the kills. Yeah, and what's with Freddy and his like freakishly long arm and like the baby Freddy that's like slithering around? It was weird. It just didn't work for me, and I don't really enjoy it. Burton says, I will say Freddy is the only one who can do those silly kills, since it does take place in the dream world. You can do anything in dreams, so in a way it makes sense for the kills to get silly. Yeah, I think for some it makes sense. For others, it just feels like it goes too comedic or not as savage, you know? I like the brutality of Freddy in that first film. Like the way he fucks up Tina. Man, he messes her up. Like, and that was a terrifying kill. Same thing in New Nightmare. Like, he was frightening in that movie. And even though he was getting jokey in 3, there were still like, he was still scary. And the kills were, you know, really memorable. There were some great creative kills that utilized dreams in one way or another, whether they were like sleepwalking or, you know, being in group to be able to do some kind of dream therapy, shit like that. I dug that. Brandon says, meeting the cast of 4 was really awesome, and it shed light on some of the more negative aspects. Tuesday night wasn't very enjoyable on set, and Toy, Lisa, and Ken were all very kind. Yeah, you know, I met most of them at Mad Monster Party in Arizona. I flew out there a couple years ago. Had a great time. Everyone was super nice. I would love to get their autographs at some point, because I do like that cast. I feel like the cast has a lot of charisma. It's just the script, you know, or lack thereof. I think that's the big issue. They don't get to shine like they should. They had too many characters too. Like, they have all of these kids that get killed off, but I don't know. Nightmare on Elm Street, in my opinion, was never about having a super high body count. It was always about like the dream and, you know, those characters, and rooting for those characters to be able to overcome Freddy. Burton says, don't get me wrong, the first was the best because of how hard he came at those kids. Yeah, I love that first movie. It's just, to me, that's I believe that was my second or third favorite horror movie of all time. Brandon says, agreed, she wasn't the best. The fact that they even got 4 made was a miracle with how rocky the production was. Yeah, I mean, from what I read, it was like they basically hired Rennie Harlan because he's like a big dude, and he really needed the money. So it's like, that's great that it got a start. I just feel like it would be great if they had a better script, because I do like aspects of his direction. There's other aspects that I feel like with a tighter script, and more creative kills and less restrictions by the MPAA, I feel like there could have been, something. It could have been like a classic horror film, but it just never really reaches those heights, at least for me. And then in the bottom two is Freddy's Dead: The Final Nightmare. I'm sorry, Rebecca, but I hate this movie. I'm sorry. I didn't like it as a kid. No worries, Brandon. It happens. I totally got what you're saying, though, Brandon. Let me just drink a little bit of water here. Yeah, so with Freddy's Dead: The Final Nightmare. Oh no, Rebecca's already crying. Don't cry, it's okay. The only good thing for me that I can say about it is that Robert Englund's in it. I really don't like it. I kind of hate it. I don't hate it as much as the remake, because I feel like the remake is a travesty. But I don't go out of my way to watch it. It's too Looney Tunes. I think Carlos's kill is good. Well, to an extent. I don't know if I'd say good. It's got its point. It's got some interesting creative ideas with killing Carlos off. But then it's like when his head blows up, it's like fucking confetti. It just doesn't. It is, you like it. That's great. If you like it, awesome. But for me, personally, I don't like it. And just like with people who don't like Season of the Witch, right? I love Season of the Witch. It's my second favorite Halloween movie. But I get why people don't like it. It's not that bad. Yeah, we're not trying to be harsh, Rebecca. It's just, different strokes for different folks. You know what I mean? And for me, what I'm looking for in a Friday the 13th film is not Friday the 13th. Fuck, I still have Friday the 13th on the brain. Freddy's Dead just doesn't do it for me. It's just it's too Looney Tunes, it's too goofy. They introduced that he has a daughter that was never introduced. They're like new lore to the character that he had this kid and he killed his wife, but we never really explore that very much. And then the 3D comes in like near the very end of the film. And I remember as a kid, I didn't really dig the 3D very much. I thought it just was kind of dumb, personally. Yeah, it was just too goofy for me. It was too Looney Tunes. I want Freddy to be scary. And I hated his makeup. I felt like in so many... yeah, I totally get that, Rebecca, that it's nostalgic for you. Like, for me, I will always love Friday the 13th, The New Blood. Because that was one of the very first horror films I saw that made me fall in love with Friday the 13th franchise. The very first film I ever saw, a horror film I saw, was Nightmare on Elm Street, and then The New Blood later on. So, like, those are the two films that my basis was on what I loved about horror as a little kid. As I've gotten older, yeah, I see a lot of issues with The New Blood, but it still holds a nostalgic place for me. So I get that. Yeah, I get the sentimental thing. I have movies like that. But yeah, so, and then finally at the bottom of my list is the remake. There's some decent gore, See, Burton's giving you some love there. Yeah, we all like different things. I just happen to not like that movie particularly. But hey, you know, I also don't like Jason Takes Manhattan that a whole lot, and a lot of people love that movie. I do have a little bit of I do have some nostalgia for that film, so I did see it in theaters too, and it was one of the first films I saw in theaters as a kid. Same thing with The Dream Child. I saw that in theaters with my folks. I was like 5. I don't like that movie, but I remember seeing it. Brandon says, well, that's fair. I also enjoy bad films that people hate. I adore House of Thousand Corpses, so my opinion isn't altogether very important. You know, it's, we're all having fun. You know what I mean? Talking about horror films. We all like different stuff. But yeah, the remake doesn't do it for me because I feel like it lost everything that the franchise was about. I swear, I don't dislike what's his Haley? I almost called him Haley Joel Osment. That is not his name. Jackie Earl Haley. I wasn't just gonna call him Haley. I'm like, what's his fucking name? But I didn't mind Jackie Earl Haley. I liked him. I feel like he brought something different. But I felt like the direction that he was given was shitty. Because he walked around like he had a stick up his ass. Which just says to me that he had no direction from the director. Who, by the way, was a first-time film director who'd only done music videos. And like I said in my review, you can't expect every music video director to hit it out of the park like David Fincher, or even to a lesser degree, Marcus Nispel. You know, he did the remake for Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which I think is pretty good. Now Haley Joel Osment. Haley Joel has to be Freddy. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? I want to see Kevin Bacon. Like, if they don't do it with Robert Englund and they recast him, I feel like Kevin Bacon would be good. Because he can be creepy. He can be fucking creepy. I feel like he's got the physique for it, too. And, you know, he's a damn good actor. But, you know, I feel like they were trying to do something different, but then they just did the same exact story as the original film. So it's kind of like what they did with the Psycho remake in a lot of ways, where it's like it follows the same plot beats and the same characters, and it's like, why am I fucking watching this? I could just watch the original film, which is like 100 times better. I see dead people, and it's you. Oh boy, that needs to be a thing. Haley Joel Osment as Freddy Krueger. Make that happen, Hollywood. Do it. I also felt like Rooney Mara was miscast. Kate Cassidy was good though, and I felt like she should have been the main character in the film because she seemed to be one of the only people in the film that like understood what kind of movie she was in. That, you know, she's in this, you know, teen slasher. She got it, you know, but I don't know. It just doesn't work for me. But that's my ranking personally of Nightmare on Elm Street. Brandon says, okay, here's a fun ranking. How would you rate the Nightmare on Elm Street posters? Ooh. I feel like there is let me pull this up. I feel like I saw something where someone did like a whole collage of all the posters. Because I would love... There we go. Just finding an image here where we can look at all of them together. Okay. So someone made this cool graphic. We'll actually move my webcam here. Okay. Let's see. I would say. So yeah, these look like all the original posters. Ooh. That's one of the things that I always loved about these films. The posters were always really dope. Okay, so I would say my number one would be... I love Dream Warriors, so Dream Warriors is my number one. Number two is Nightmare on Elm Street, the OG. I just love that aesthetic. I do love the Dream Master poster, so that would be number three. Number four would probably be Freddy's Revenge. So yeah, that's number four. Number five, I would say... Ooh, I like the new Nightmare poster. I think that's pretty dope. So that's number five. Number six, I'd say... Freddy's Dead. Number seven would be Dream Child. Then last would be the remake poster. Burton says, I love a good poster. Me too, dude. You guys have probably noticed by now, this is like a whole new setup that I did. And like I had totally changed my my office setup probably about, I'd say, a month ago, I think. But I ended up moving my entire setup into my bedroom. So now it's literally like just a studio. This is my studio where I do all my videos and shit. So it's nice. I like having with all the horror posters behind me. It gets me inspired. Yeah, I dig it. I dig it. I dig it. I dig it. Dig it. Giggity go. Burton says, Freddy's Dead looks like he was at the mall getting glamour shots. Hey girl, or hey bitch, take this photo, bitch. Yay, Freddy's Dead moves up a spot. He does kind of look like one of those glamour photos though, from like the early 90s where like all the girls had like side ponytails. That was a thing. I remember when I was in elementary school, there was this kid, I forget his name, but he had his hair all, and this was like back in the late 80s. He had, what's it fucking called? Well, he had like this, he had this fade, and then on the back of his head, someone had shaved in the Batman logo on the back of his head with his hair. I was like, I thought that was the coolest thing when I was a kid. Like, whoa! He's got a fucking Batman symbol on the back of his head. That dude's so fucking cool. Look how rad he is. Fucking Batman. But that's about it, guys. I'm losing my voice a little bit. Been going for about 2 hours. Listening to me rant and rave about Nightmare on Elm Street, Halloween. Oh, and I'm still on. I'm still on the fence about watching The Craft Legacy. Because I have not heard very good things. But thankfully, next week Possessor comes out, which I'm definitely going to watch, and I'm definitely going to review. And I can't wait to review that for you guys, because that movie looks fucking dope. But anyways, guys, that is the stream at a stream. Thank you to everyone that showed up. Thank you for my very first super chat. That was really cool. That was like a big highlight of the night, was that, as well as my promise to all of you that once we hit 2,000 subscribers, I will do a dance like, what are we talking about tonight? What's up, back Nez? My buddy Nez is in the house. Shit, well, I was just about to stop, and now you're here, and now I'm like, well, shit, now I can't stop, because now Nez is here. God damn it. Okay, D-Man, it fucking sucked. Please don't watch The Craft Legacy. God, please don't. It's atrocious. Oh, no, that's what I've been hearing. That's what I've been hearing. And I don't really want to subject myself to basically Black Christmas 2019 all over again. Yeah. You're gonna be holding me to it that I do that dance. I'm gonna do the dance. Once we hit 2,000 subscribers, I am going to shake my little Puerto Rican butt for all of you, because a promise is a promise. Video Creep said it was good, just saying. Video Creep also said that The Babysitter was good, and I hated that movie. No, Mike and I kind of have different tastes in movies. Like, there's some that we both dig a lot, but I don't know. I don't really want to spend money on it. I I just can't do it. I can't do it. If I gotta spend money on it, no. Oh my God, are you fucking for real, Brandon? Brandon says, it's just Black Christmas 2019 in a big titty goth outfit. I did hear that there was some like toxic masculinity plot in there. The attack video. No shots fired. No shots fired. None. We just have different tastes. Because I personally was not a fan of The Babysitter. I don't like that movie at all. I tried to rewatch it and it annoyed the fuck out of me. I tried to watch The Babysitter Killer Queen and it annoyed the fuck out of me. I can't get into those movies. There's certain movies and their aesthetics that just don't work for me. Which, I think is really cool if you follow, a few different horror tubers here on this platform. Really, Brandon? Fuck, man. I hate it when they do that. I hate that shit, man. But I feel like it's cool. Like, take Video Creep and I, for example. Like, he has a different style than I do, and he's into different kinds of horror films than I am. And so it's cool because then you can see different perspectives on different types of horror films. And plus, I mean, he's fucking funny as fuck. His reviews are always funny, even if it's like a bad movie. I still enjoy his reviews. Love Video Creep. Nez says, I was gonna check it out. Oh well. So you haven't heard good things either, huh, Nez? And you just watched The Rage Carry 2. I've heard that is like so bad it's good type of deal. Brandon says it's venomous. The toxic masculinity killed me. Yeah, that's what did it for me in the Black Christmas remake. And I know it's a different director for The Craft Legacy, but the same director who did Black Christmas 2019 also directed another film from Into the Dark called, I think it's just called New Year's Eve or New Year, New You, something like that. And I hated that. And I remember when Black Christmas was announced, I was really worried about it because I did not like Sofia Takal's direction or the writing on that episode of Into the Dark. So I was pretty concerned when I heard that she was directing Black Christmas, because I was like, oh man, it's gonna turn into, something where instead of having the social commentary being woven into the story and like creating a compelling story, which they did in Black Christmas, there is definitely social commentary in that film, and I feel like that film is incredibly feminist, especially for its time. But when you have like a film like, and I can't speak to the craft legacy, but from what I've heard so far, I have heard that it shares some similarities to Black Christmas 2019. It's writing a story around a specific point of view and then, writing the story around it. And I feel like you need to be able to write a story that has likable characters, that has a story that gets you invested. And then you weave in the social commentary. You weave in like, hey, there's some really toxic shit that is happening with, a certain group of fraternity dudes. Whatever. I'm just throwing it out there. Not that that's happening, but let's throw it out there. Like, okay, that's a part of the storyline. Don't make that the primary focus, because then you're completely alienating your audience. You're alienating half of your audience when you make it into this, like, oh man, toxic masculinity. Men, ooh, watch out for the man. And it alienates half of your audience. Yeah. And that's kind of been what I've been hearing about the craft legacy, and that's not something that appeals to me personally. I have heard that, Brandon. I have heard that David Duchovny kind of gets done dirty. Yeah, let's not do any spoilers. I know what happens. But yeah, I've also heard that it's basically a reboot and not really a sequel, even though they try to make it a sequel by having like a second or two of someone from the original film in the film, and that somehow qualifies it as a sequel. I don't know. It's kind of weak. So, I mean, if I get enough requests for it, I'll watch it and review it if, you want to hear my thoughts on it. But if I don't get any requests for it, I'm not going to do it, because I'd rather not if I don't really hear anyone saying, we want to see a review of the craft. Anyways. No. You're fine, Brandon. You're fine. You did not spoil anything. You are not stupid at all. You're totally fine. No, yeah, you're fine. You didn't spoil anything. I just wanted to give a heads up to folks that might come into the chat and then start talking spoilers. All good. But yeah, dudes. As far as like new movie reviews, sorry, I had a brain fart for a second. Yeah, Possessor coming out next week. November is not gonna be as packed as October in terms of videos. But again, doing Possessor on the 3rd and then finishing up the Friday the 13th franchise. Come on, bro. Just watch it and let me know if it's worth it. I don't know. I gotta pay for that shit. I pay for that. I pay for that shit. If I get enough people saying watch it and review it, I will. Oh my God, Burton. Light as a feather, stiff as a board. The craft porn title. One of the things that I loved about the original film, and it always cracks me up, is when the girls are hanging out. I think they're like eating popcorn and watching Bewitched, and one of the girls asks, "Have you guys ever played Light as a Feather, Stiff as a Board?" We're like, "No, we haven't." Yeah, so one girl lays down, and then the three of us get around. We put our fingers underneath, and then I think it's Fairuza Balk. He's like, she puts your finger, and then I fucking lose it at every point. At every time that happens, I fucking lose my shit because I always find that particular line hilarious because that's like some stupid shit that I would say with my friends. And that's what makes that film so charming, is that those girls feel real. See, Brandon's telling me not to watch it, so I am getting conflicting recommendations. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm just gonna wait until Possessor comes out, which I know will be a good movie, on the 3rd of November next week, and that'll be the first like new movie review in a while. But yeah, Friday the 13th finishing up next month. Ned says, off topic, what kind of mic is that? Yeah, actually, if you are curious about any of my my peripherals, the shit that I use for my videos and my streams, I actually have links in the description below. So, and they're like my affiliate links on Amazon. It's not that I'm not gonna get like it's not like I get like a huge commission. I just get a little kickback. But if you end up buying anything from those affiliate links, I get a tiny commission. But I have all of everything that I use, from my laptop, my microphone, the stand, pop filter, shock mount, all that stuff. It's all in my description. But this microphone specifically is a Blue Yeti. I've been using this one for a while now. With this mic stand, along with the shock mount and the pop filter. And for like I think it was probably $200 for all of this, but I've had this for years. Like when I used to stream on Twitch, this was like, besides the arm I've upgraded and the pop filter I've upgraded, and I upgraded to a shock mount, and also got like this extra kind of cushion for the mic. But the mic I've always had. I've had this for like 5 years, and it's been great. I love the Blue Yeti. Brandon says, watch the original craft and review that instead. I think that's a better idea. I'd rather watch that and review that. It's good fun, and Legacy is basically the scabies of films. Burton, you are out. See you later, my dude. Thank you for coming by. It's about almost 8:30 here. Don't really know what else I want to discuss. I do need to work on a video tonight. So I got a very, very special Halloween video for you guys that's gonna come out tomorrow. I can't wait to share with you dudes. But I think that's it, my dudes. We did about almost 2.5 hours tonight, which was a lot of fun. Thank you for the super chat donation. That was awesome. Thank you. And thank you for everyone coming by tonight. As always, it's a blast hanging out with you dudes, talking horror films, and just shooting the shit. And if you're watching this video and you're not already subscribed, be sure to do so. I'm always having new content coming out. Yeah, that's kind of it, my guys. But I will see you guys on the next video, on the next stream. Have one coming up sometime the next week or so. Try to do this once a week. But with all that said, I will see you all next time. Have a wonderful night. If I don't get to talk to you before Halloween,